Hello everyone and welcome once again to another edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. We're starting off with news from Anathema Publishing. We knew this day was coming and it's now here. I'm recording this on Thursday, 12th of May. In just a couple of hours' time, as I'm recording this, the Serpent Ikons will be available for pre-order. So yeah, if you remember watching this as I'm putting this out, then yeah, just a couple of more hours to wait. And for the rest of the world watching this video a day after I've made it available to the members, to Foolish Fish members, of course, then yeah, you can just go directly to Anathema's website and put in your pre-orders. Anathema have made available some lovely looking pictures of the book itself, which is only getting one edition, by the way. No, they very often make many different editions. This one's only getting one. Let's say something between a standard and a collector's edition. But it's coming with these major arcana designed, of course, by AZK Busquetier. So, yep, the very, very exciting stuff. And naturally, if you're in North America, you know about by now to put your order in directly through Anathema. And if you're in Europe or Africa, then Cyclic Law is the way to go. Right, news from Mount Abraxas Press. So they've just released this new book. Let me just go back a little bit. Sorry, I've actually recorded this video 3 times now. Mercury retrograde and all that. Prisms of the Oneiroi, a collection of weird folk and occult stories by Martin Locker. This looks like a very beautiful publication. The only way to access it is by sending them an email. So I'll put the email address down in the description there. I'll show you a few of the pictures that they've released from the interior here. It looks lovely. It looks really nice. I think that if you're curious about tales with an occult slant, this could be one for you. Right, moving on to news from Chaewon Koo, whose book came out just a little over a week ago, Spellbound, a new witch's guide to crafting the future. So a guide for any beginning witch. Spellbound dips into the occult from the unique perspective of Eastern and Western magics colliding. Chaewon Koo takes us through history, magical foundations, deities, astrological influences, and magical future in a digital world, teaching us to harness the powers of our ancestors while embracing the changes around us to practice our witchcraft at its fullest. This has been gathering a lot of praise from people that I have a lot of respect for. So I'm very curious to find out more. In fact, my wife has explained to me in no uncertain terms that this needs to be in our next shipment from Amazon. And speaking of Amazon, by the way, this is an Amazon post, of course. If you have the opportunity to buy your books locally, please do so. I put links down in the description, which are associate links from which I get a small commission, right, at no extra cost to you. But I would be more than happy, and I really mean that, more than happy to forego that small commission if I knew that you were buying your books locally from local businesses. I mean, if you have the opportunity to do so, please do so. I don't have that privilege, right? I live in a non-English speaking country, and so the local bookshops don't have anything like this on their shelves. But please please support your local bookshops. Speaking of which, this is one that was posted by Watkins Books from London, The Japanese Myths. It's not available yet in the US, but it is available already in the UK. The Japanese Myths, A Guide to Gods, Heroes and Spirits. Again, if you can buy it directly from your local bookstore, please do so, especially if you live close to Watkins, right? Of course. This one is edited by Thames and Hudson, and I've got a few Thames and Hudson books, and they are invariably very beautiful. In my opinion, Thames and Hudson are one of the publishing houses that do mass market books, one of those that take the greatest care in the quality of their hardcover books. The Thames and Hudson books, hardcover books that I have, are beautiful, really, really beautiful. So one to look into for sure, especially if you're interested in the Japanese myths. Right, very, very interesting whole area of discovery right there. An illustrated guide, and we get in, if you just click down here, you'll be able to see a little bit more of a preview of what's inside. Yeah, very, very cool stuff. Yeah, again, support your local bookshops if you can. Greek and Egyptian magical formularies, text and translation. So thank you, BJ Swain, for bringing this one to my attention. Greek and Egyptian Magical Formularies is basically a new translation of the PGM. So it's volume 1. There will be presumably volume 2, although the previous translation only had a volume 1, still only has a volume 1, and that's been out for is it 20 years, maybe even more? Hopefully we'll get volume 2 this time. Christopher A. Faraoni and Sofia Torrallas Tovar are the team bringing this project to life, and it seems like they have another book coming out in November. If I show you this one, this is not volume 2, by the way, but it is nevertheless related. So this is libraries, books and individual recipes, new texts from ancient cultures. I'll let you read those blurbs in your own time, but my guess is that if you're interested in the PGM, in the Greco-Egyptian magical papyri in any way, this may already be on your radar, in fact. And if it's not, then, well, you're welcome. And thank you again, BJ Swain, for bringing this one to our attention. Next, we have news from Joumana Medlej. This was retweeted by Dr. Liana Saif, who is, of course, translating the Hayat al-Hakim, the original Arabic version of the Picatrix, right? The Picatrix being the an old translation of the Hayat al-Hakim, and these are boxes that are inspired by the Hayat, and it seems like Joumana Medlej has made boxes in the past with a planetary theme. And these now are getting a Zodiac theme, right? You can find out a little bit more about those boxes through her website, which I'll show you in a second, but these pictures don't feature on her website, so I think it's worth just taking a look because they're so beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. The boxes themselves look so lovely, and yeah, so each zodiacal sign seems to be getting its own box, which is lovely, isn't it? Really, really nice. The boxes are available in 3 sizes. It seems like you won't know what's inside the boxes until you receive them. They're in 3. Yeah, let me show you from modest, £120, corresponds to the scale of the boxes I've made so far. So presumably something along these lines. although, who am I to say? I don't know. Then you've got the regular box for £240, and the extravagant box for £480. If you've got that kind of cash, then that would probably make a very, very lovely occasional gift. It would have to be a very, very cool occasion, unless you've got the kind of money that I don't have, for someone who is whose zodiacal sign is important to them. But yeah, I like the fact that they are heavily influenced by the Hayat al-Hakim. Forgive my pronunciation. Let's move on to news from the Magickal Women's Conference, and the early bird tickets are now on sale. If you want to go to the Magickal Women's Conference, which is happening in South Kensington, London, so that's just next to the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. Then it's happening on the 15th of October 2022. So yeah, if you're in that area of England, or if it's easy for you to get to that area of England, then now is when the early bird tickets are available. If you actually purchase your tickets a little later, the prices go up, as you can see right there. And we've got a full schedule right there. Some names that you may recognize right there. And as I showed you last week, I think is a list of the sponsors, some rather prestigious logos. Very, very good stuff. All right, moving on to two courses actually. The first one is Jack Grayle's Heil, Hekate through the Blackthorne School. This is a course that has been extremely popular in the past, and people invariably see that this course has already started and start going, oh no, I wanted to get into that one. So we're getting a little bit of early warning, as it were, and you can. So it's starting actually on May the 30th. So you can get yourself enrolled already. There are still spaces, from what I can see, so it's a 13-week online course with Jack Grayle, walking the forked path. It appears to be a complete introduction to Hekate with empowerments. So yeah, very, very nice stuff. I strongly recommend that you have a look at Jack Grayle's little introduction there, and a full description of the course, which is certain to get your mouth watering. Very, very cool stuff. There we are. And then the other course that I wanted to draw your attention to is this one by Jason Miller, of course, who has just opened registrations for his Black School of St. Cyprian. I reviewed Jason Miller's Consorting with Spirits just last night, and in that book he talks a lot about St. Cyprian and about the contexts and circumstances with which he works with this intercessionary spirit, and this seems to pretty much cover the idea summon demons with church stuff. So it's when he's working with spirits that require him to approach them from a specifically grimoiric Christian perspective. St. Cyprian is the intercessionary spirit that he uses, and this seems to be a full introduction, and again, complete course for those of you who would like to start working with St. Cyprian, this very, very interesting spirit. Okay, news from Treadwell's Books, who have a rather prestigious guest. Lon Milo Duquette is going to be featuring in a talk with Treadwell's Books on Thursday, 13th of May. So that's next week. The tickets are very reasonably priced. If you're hoping to join live, and it's happening at 7 p.m., 7 to 9 p.m. UK time. So that's early afternoon. Well, certainly in some parts of the US, but very early morning for Australia, I guess. Anyway, if you think you will be able to join live, then it's £10 for the online ticket, and if you expect to be viewing the interview or the chat, as it were, a little later, if you won't quite make it for the live version, then it's £8 for the delayed viewing version. But yeah, listening to Lon chatting is always fun. It's always inspirational and good stuff, right? Certainly, if we can support him any way we can, then I think we should. And then there's this fantastic initiative by Colchester Castle to host this exhibition on witchcraft, wicked spirits, witchcraft, and magic. The only thing is that they need some help to get this whole thing off the ground. So the Museum of Witchcraft and Magic in Boscastle in Cornwall seem to be ready to bring over some of their collection. And Colchester Castle, you may know from one of my videos that Colchester has quite a central place in my heart, having been the stage for a rather surprising event. I'll let you discover that in your own time if you don't already know about it. But they're looking for £15,000 of £45,000 total that they need to actually be able to make this exhibition possible. There's 25 days to go. They've already managed to raise 17% of what they need. Hopefully this video will help a little bit with that. I guess if there's anything that anyone can do, please do send a dollar or a pound or two their way. I'm sure they would very much appreciate that. Oh, right, and then finally, because I don't have a game for you this week, I'm so sorry. Sometimes I don't have a game, but I do have a tarot deck for you, and this is one that really is so beautiful. It's being offered by Morbid Anatomy directly through their website, and just looking at the one or two cards that I've been able to find so far from this gorgeous deck, has really captured my imagination. Designers and artists Linnea Gitz and Peter Dunham. There we go. So introducing a 23rd higher arcana card, the Seeker, and 5 lunar cards as well. Seem to be the 5 lunar cards. It's a nice idea, isn't it? Adding some lunar cards. Those certainly have some useful potential within a tarot deck. Look at that Ace of Pentacles. That's so beautiful. So beautiful. There we go. Pagan Otherworlds. You can buy it directly through Morbid Anatomy right there. Links down in the description. There we are. That's my video for you for this week. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It really helps to sustain the channel. And if you want to buy me a coffee, I certainly appreciate that. There's super thanks have just recently been enabled on the channel, so there's like a little heart symbol with a dollar symbol, so if you'd like to click on that and leave a super thanks, I'd certainly appreciate it. And subscribe if you haven't done so already, if you'd like to see more videos like this one and others. And I'll see you very soon with another video. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.